domain and range of continuous graphs. And again, continuous just means connected graphs. So it's not going to be made up of points, but rather a line or a curve. Oh, there is a pause. All right. So again, domain is what? X. So domain is all possible X values. This is the same as my inputs. Ooh, focus. There we go. And what's the definition of range? All my Y values. So all possible Y values. And those are my outputs. All right, so just like last time we did it in a list, this time because it's a connected graph, we're going to write it as inequalities. So for continuous graphs, and again that means connected, you need to write as an inequality. So we cannot just list it out. Okay. So all that means is that domain and range is described to be in between two values. So we're looking really for the distance that the line takes, or the curve, or the shape on the graph takes. It is this wide and this long. That's my domain and range. So my domain, because it is talking about my x values, we read it from the leftmost is less than, x is less than the rightmost. And that goes left to right, just like my x-axis. We're looking at my x-axis when we talk about domain. Okay? So what about my range? If domain is my x, like my x-axis left to right, what about my range? Up and down, like my y-axis. So what I'm going to do just for visual purposes, and you can remember, I'm going to flip my paper to the side so I can write range going up and down. It's just a way to help you remember. So range would be from low is less than y, less than, to high, because my y-axis goes up and down. Low to high, left to right. And I'll flip it back the right way here in a little bit. Okay. So now those two colors that I asked you to pick one to represent domain and one to represent range for the rest of these notes. And then highlight that word so you remember. So for me, this orangey color is going to be my domain. And this blue looking color is going to be my range. So you pick your two colors for your notes. And before we get to the actual examples, we still have a few more things to cover so that you know when we get there. Okay? So the other things are the types of endpoints that you can have. You can have a shaded in circle, which is called a closed circle. When you have that type of circle on the endpoint, it just means that it is equal to whatever that point is at. So we would use the less than or equal to. So the extra piece is that we're putting the line underneath it. You can also have an endpoint with an open circle, meaning it's not shaded in. So it means it's not equal at that point, so it's just the less than symbol. the last type of thing you can have on the end is an arrow. What do arrows mean? Okay, here, whichever direction, and then, okay, whichever way it's going. So this line right here, or curve in this case, has an arrow on it, so it means I'm going to keep going forever and ever in this direction, which is the positive up direction and the positive right direction. So arrows mean that the graph keeps going on in that direction. Arrows mean the graph keeps going in that direction. It keeps going on and on forever and ever. What word do we use for ever and ever in math? Not continuous. Continuous means it's connected. Infinity. Okay? So the graph is going to keep going in that direction to infinity and beyond. And you can put the and beyond if you like. And what's that symbol for infinity in math?
No, it's the line above it.
The sideways 8. That's when we're doing fractions, or decimals. Yeah, when you're doing decimals, you put the little line over it. It means it keeps going on in that pattern. But infinity just means it goes on regardless.